Hey everybody, welcome to this little video about a taste of Google Drive. Actually, I'm specifically going to talk about Google Docs. Give you a taste of Google Docs and how you can use that to support the Writing Anchor Standard 6, which talks about using technology for kids to produce writing. So, how do you get to this Google Docs thing? Well, first you got to go to your Drive. If you have a Gmail account, you have a Drive account, and you go to drive.google.com. It might ask you to log in, you log in, and then you're in. Kids will go to the same spot. It'll ask them to log in with their Google account that the school gave them. Okay, so that's how you get there. So what do you do once you get in there? Well, you start typing stuff. This is a document that actually a student created for me a long time ago, so I'm kind of borrowing it to show you some things in here. So the cool thing about Google Drive is that kids can actually share documents and write in it together, so they can collaborate in an online space. Well, how do they do that? First, they have to share their document. If you notice, it's already shared with one person. It's shared with a fake email account that I created a long time ago. So share, if you click that button, you'll see it's shared with me. I am the owner, and you'll see that it's shared with my fake Gmail, and that can edit. You can actually change that. You can actually give them ownership, which I don't really advise. They can edit the whole thing, which means they can run the gamut in your document. They can just, traipse all over the place. They can comment or they can view. And I'll tell you what comments are in a second. Viewing means they can just look at it. They can't do anything in the document. Okay? So you can change what's called the sharing settings. And when it says invite people, you can actually invite by Gmail. And that's what your kids are probably going to do. They'll probably put in each other's emails and you can share documents that way. Okay? Now you notice up here, you can have a link to. I love Google Drive because you can get links to documents. They're easy to shoot out via email or Edmodo or something like that, but I will go into my love for the document links later. Let's move on to the collaboration features. So how can they collaborate? Well, if two students are sharing a document, that means they can type in the document at the same time. So if you notice, again, my fake Gmail is in here. The cursor is right down there. I'm actually going to go to my other machine here where I'm logged in. You notice my cursor changed and said, I can type in this document. So the other person is typing in there at the same time I could. Okay? So you can actually have students in the document at the same time collaborating. Now, are they going to have to plan ahead? Yes, as to who can type where. But the cool thing about this is that this can happen what we call asynchronously. They don't have to be in there at the same time during class. You can have two kids editing the document at this, at different times. So they're both collaborating and they can see what each other did. Okay? Now, speaking of seeing what each other did, let's say you want to check in on them and say, how much are they doing? So you come over here to File, see Revision History, and if you notice, it pulls up all the edits that have been done. So you see right there, the strike through means that it had been deleted. So it shows you what was typed and what was there. And then if you look here, pink means the other person wrote it. You click on this one, you can see that I wrote that. Actually, I deleted that. That was already in here. Jonathan, so deleted that. He wrote that for me. If I go back here, you can see all the things that I added. So the revision history is a very nice feature. Okay. By the way, you see where it says restore this version or restore this revision? You can actually, if students added things they wanted to delete, they can just restore that and it goes back in time. It's a little time machine, goes back in time, and they can revert their document to any of these revisions that are listed. Okay. So there's the revision history, which is a pretty cool feature. Okay. So they can collaborate using writing. Okay. You can see the revision history. Now, the other cool thing I want to show you about this is the comments, and you've probably seen these over here. What comments are basically that. You see how some of these things are highlighted? Those particular sections of text have comments attached to them. So if I wanted to add a comment right here, I would highlight that. I would right-click and click comment. And I would add a comment. And I click comment, doesn't show up till you hit comment. Now you notice in these other comments, you see that there's some back and forth here. So right here, who is you? That's my other me is talking to me. And then I answered, yes, that's what I meant. And then you know what happens when you assume. I was warning myself. But you see there's little conversations that happen here. That's the cool thing about the comments. What will happen is if my other self comes in, I can reply. You see it showed up, reply to this comment. So you can have a back and forth there. That's part of that interaction and collaboration in an online space. That's part of that standard. Okay? So you can have kids editing together, producing writing in the same document, and having a conversation off to the side. If they're having this conversation over here, that way they don't have to mess up their document. So those are some cool features of Google Drive. And again, it's about producing writing, collaborating, and interacting in an online space. So that's just what Google Drive can do, some of the things that Google Drive can do, specifically Google Docs. We're going to explore more about this on April 14th. So what I'd like you to do is come with some ideas is, how could I get kids to use this in my classroom? It could either be a lesson that you want to do this year or maybe a lesson next year that you want to do. All right? So come with ideas and we'll talk Google Drive when I see you on April 14th.